they could like totally just wear headphones, but they're not. So it's like extra badass. You're right. That's what I think. All right. Yeah, buddy. It's Woke with Kids, guys. I'm Inyaze, and I'm joined, as usual, by my wife.
Are we starting? I'm Melissa.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're starting. We're doing it. We're just jumping right into it, because that's what we do. Lots to talk about. Shouldn't have left you without a dope rhyme to step to. So many things have gone aguan since we last spoke. Let's just rewind, Selector, and catch up on some of those things. I think that would be a really good thing to do. So if I'm just scrolling back in the Evernote machine, checking out, going back to the beginning of this month. All right, let's start talking about things. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's start with some good news. Researchers report a breakthrough in the fight against HIV.
Woo!
That's always good. Yeah. They for the first time, researchers have eliminated the HIV virus from the genomes of living animals. Yeah, that's great. I don't have a lot to comment on that. Just want to let you guys know. Go ahead and fuck in peace. You know what I'm saying? Like they're working on a cure for you. Trump. We always start the show with a little bit of headline news, some things that apply to everybody, the broadest possible demographic. We're talking white people, Asian people, black people, women people, men people, non-standard, non-binary people, all the good people. Trump be trumping. Trump is always trumping.
That he is.
That he is. So, you guys might remember that he was trying to get a question added to the census, asking whether you were a citizen or not. And the court said, no, you can't do that. That's bad. And so for a minute, we thought he was going to give up on it. It sounded like he was going to do one of those weird things where Trump does something like semi-rational and just kind of lets it go. But he didn't do that. He didn't fucking do that. Jesus. Instead, he tweeted that they weren't giving up on this. No. And, which is kind of like this weird thing he does sometimes where he like tweets a thing and it's a question of like, when does a tweet become a law? They never made that show. And, when I was a kid growing up, we had the electric company show, how a bill becomes a bill. I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill. But we don't have the one, how does a tweet become a decree? I don't know. So he's not giving it up. And I'm pretty sure it's for really good reasons, Mel. What do you think?
Gotta be good reasons. He always has good reasons. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I don't think, I think that he's going back to the drawing board because the judge rejected him putting the citizenship question. That's going to be very difficult for me to pronounce right now. Citizenship census question. Because I've already been drinking. It's already 10 o'clock. So guys, catch up. He said he was doing it because he wanted to make sure that, I don't even know what his rationale is. It doesn't matter. The point is that its net effect is that it will discourage people from actually participating in the census, which will,
yes.
Oh.
Cool.
Who went doo-doo in the potty? Sorry, this is a Woke with Kids child.
And he's going?
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, keep me updated, and I'll come in to help wipe.
All right, man. This is important.
Oh, it's on the table.
It's been a long time since we had a really classic Woke with Kids moment.
Awesome. Thank you, babe.
But this is really important,
Ellison.
guys. This is super important.
Go, Langston. You're awesome.
Because we're trying to...
extra big brother points right here.
Yeah. We're trying to potty train... We're finishing up the final potty training.
Talk to you in a little bit. Call me back when there's something stinky. Oh, I know. He wants to end the call. I got it.
Yeah. Our littlest one is a control freak, a tiny bit. But we've been finishing up his potty training. He goes pee-pee in the potty just fine, but it's the doo-doo thing. I don't know what it is. I think maybe I overreacted once when he tried to go by himself because he's always such a self-starter. But then he tried to go by himself and ended up getting shit all over the bathroom. And
that happened a couple times. I mean, I definitely lost my shit.
So bad.
No pun intended as well. And then he was like fine, not traumatized. And then he just kind of decided, I think he said, fuck it. Like, I'm pretty sure that's an exact quote that he had in his mind. He was like, fuck this bullshit. I'm tired of them stressing me about it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much how it went.
I've bribed him. I've shamed him. I've threatened him. I've totally ignored it. I've done all the things. I said, go in the pull-up. Don't go. I've left him naked. I've tried the naked thing, people. I have left him naked, but he's big enough to just be like, I want pants. And
go get pants.
He will go get underwear and pants and put it on. I've put him on the potty, 30 minutes after dinner. In the morning, we do poo practice. I just started giving him the iPad. That's the only thing that's helped him sit there long enough for the 2 successes we have had. But this, I'm just calling it a win because he said, hey, I want to go sit. And we are just trying to get to that point where he's kind of really in tune with his body.
Yeah.
And he's ahead of time going to the toilet to do his business. So fingers crossed, guys. We will all know what happened before the end of the podcast.
Pray for us, y'all.
Please,
Pray for us.
Please. I'm getting more gray hairs because he starts preschool in less than a month and he's supposed to be potty trained.
Oh my God. Okay.
I haven't told them exactly.
And they already got the money.
They did. I mean, thankfully, I think for his normal schedule is not during his time there, but still, just my luck, day one, he'd be like, you know what? I got to shit at 2 p.m. today for the first time in months. So,
oh my God.
Who's gonna help me with that?
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a little side thing there, but very important. If anyone has cared for children, has children, you know that sometimes this can be a very challenging part of growing, teaching them how to do these things, and he has been quite resistant to taking ownership of his elimination practices. So
yes, absolutely.
Oh, please God.
Oh my God.
I mean, when a child starts eating like regular adult food,
no, he's a grown ass child. He's a grown ass child.
Poop reflects.
He is a healthy 4-year-old child.
Not to go on and on about it, but
it's go-onable. It's go-onable.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
It's the kids in the woke with part. It's the kids in the woke with kids. So that's happening, guys, in the background of all of this.
Please,
it's
God,
real.
please, God.
It is so real. What do we want to talk about? Do you want to keep talking about? I'm just keep about politics.
I do want to talk about politics because I believe our last podcast was right before the debates and the Democratic nomination.
We have not talked about
and we haven't talked about that.
Yes, let's talk about.
If we're going to take it back a bit, let's take it back to the Democratic candidate.
So, did you watch the debates? Did you watch them?
No, I caught all of the highlights on Twitter.
Okay, all right.
Biden looking old and a little weird.
Yeah.
Bernie sounding old and a little out of date, out of touch. Like, I feel like I got the sense that it seems like he's still running the same campaign from 4 years ago or whatever, 3 years ago.
Definitely that.
As opposed to the campaign for this upcoming election against trying to win the primary against these candidates as opposed to Hillary.
Yeah.
I
can't
Kamala.
Really
Huh?
I said I can't disagree with that.
Oh, Kamala. I loved all the memes about Kamala Harris basically saying things like she took a DNA test and she is 100% that bitch.
Not committal.
I mean, I don't know that we've had lawyers in the office before. Obama, many presidents have come from a law career. Elizabeth Warren, now she's a law professor, but I assume she practiced law at some point. But I don't know that we've ever had a district attorney like someone with litigation, like prosecutorial experience, because every time Kamala runs one of these congressional hearings, and what I got the sense of from the debate was that she comes with her facts fully researched, and she's prepared to drive her point home.
Yeah, and is there a thing about black women in this cultural context being allowed to kind of be? I don't want to say like anything offensive, but like to be aggressive, to be kind of the hold you to task, like is it because it's like, in a way, the only thing that trumps a white man is the nanny that raised him. Do you know what I'm saying? I think because a black man can't prosecute. Barack's whole presidency was framed by his inability to say what he wanted to say, or what we thought he wanted to say. You know, there are like lots of comedy about translating his inner anger into what he really
wanted. The Key and Peele sketch.
Right. But Kamala, like when I saw her on that debate stage, like she wasn't mean, but she was like incisive in a way that I feel like Obama is not allowed to be. Like I don't feel like he could have been that.
I don't know that they're gonna quote unquote allow her to be that, but what I think the American public will have to reckon with is that is who she is. So do we want that as, you know, the president? Do we want that quality?
Yeah.
That incisive quality on the world stage? I would say, yeah.
I mean, obviously,
actually,
right now she's
on that aspect. I mean, in terms of like domestic policy, I don't know how that really will help unite the divided public. But I feel like, okay, when she goes to speak to the dude from North Korea or Putin or Saudi Arabia or Iran or China or any of these motherfuckers,
yes,
I kind of feel like, I feel like that might be a good quality to have, because she's not just gonna let them say whatever they want to say. I mean, you know, and to that point, what she may need to strengthen, and in terms of revealing to the public before we vote, is her ability to be diplomatic. I don't want to say soften, because that's very gendered. We want women to be soft.
Exactly.
And of course, you know, I think with her family and her friends, she's very relaxed. I mean, why wouldn't she be? She's a human being. But I think we are going to have to reckon with the way that she presents as someone that is very assertive and demanding, even in her questioning. Like, we've seen that with the congressional hearings a million times. So, and her ability to really slice through the political bullshit talk. Mm-hmm. Not to say that she won't have any of her own, but she does have a knack for cutting through everyone else's bullshit. So
what I'm also referencing here, I think, is a not original analysis of Barack Obama's ascension to the presidency, presaged by Hollywood in television shows. In the preceding decades and years before Barack actually became president, Mr. Obama, Barack Obama. I feel like I should call you just Mr. President, Your Excellency for life, or something like that. Like, I feel like when I call him by, I don't know, like one name. You're like Jesus now. You just have one name amongst the blacks.
Obama?
Yeah, he's just one name. And
like Oprah.
Yeah, like Oprah. Yeah, exactly. You've ascended. I see, but anyways, we saw a lot of black male presidents, and like a lot of shows, 24, some other shit that I don't remember because I wasn't really watching NBC back then. That wasn't really my jam. But now the shows that we just got finished, that Shonda Rhimes just got finished stunting on us in the last decade, were all these very strong, aggressive black female characters. And I just wonder if there isn't some sort of, if not causal effect, there is some sort of relationship between maybe it's a prophet messiah relationship, or maybe it is a, you know, tail wagging the dog thing. But it seems to me that Americans, we are increasingly picking our presidents based on casting, like on features which are more like, because like Kamala appealed to me. Like I am like 100% right now in this moment. If I had to pick somebody at gunpoint, I'm like, Kamala, please. Like 8 years of her would be amazing. Like now that you know what she's capable of, oh my fucking God. Yes, please. She's photogenic. She knows how to talk. She knows how to cut above the mess and the... Sign me up.
At this point, I really want to see a Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren ticket. And honestly, I don't really care who's president and who's VP, because then they can just flip it the next time.
I feel like they would be the first ticket to
Can you
not
imagine
matter.
that?
To not...
Can you imagine if it was two women?
Wow! What could they say?
And they're so capable. I mean,
That might
right
be the
now,
silver bullet.
Elizabeth Warren is really... She's speaking my language.
I do still like Elizabeth.
I mean, she just
doesn't...
What I like is she's just ahead of the curve from what I can tell. At least for me. Just when I'm like, damn, I really wish somebody would speak on this. Here she come. With a statement. Or on the last podcast, what did I say? I said, I want to hear a candidate talk about what's going on at the border. I want to hear somebody go down there and see for themselves what's happening to these children in what are essentially concentration camps and report back about and literally within days
she was there.
I saw a little video where she was there.
But you know what? In all fairness, they all went. In all fairness, they all went.
Well, they have to.
They have to.
And of course, it's very, prescripted and all that. Like, I'm not saying it isn't, but I'll say this. Her footage and her statement of being there is the only one that came across my timeline without any effort from me.
I still like Elizabeth Warren. I like the idea, if I was casting it and writing a really hackish sequel to the Obama-Biden ticket, it would be Kamala's president and Elizabeth Warren as vice president, only because I feel like Kamala has an ability with her biracial, which I hate that fucking term. It's like what's two of two things that don't exist? Oh, that makes you even more. I mean, I don't know. Whatever, guys. I'm sorry. I'm jaded about this, but yeah. I love the idea of her Asianness and her blackness and her ability to sort of have this kind of transcendent American experience. I come from a Law and Order family, so I don't have a problem with the idea of Law and Order. Even when I smoked weed in Virginia, I knew good and well what the fuck I was doing and where I was going to go if I got caught. That was just the fun. That was the joy of it. And now weed is boring because you could just go to the store and buy it. And like, it's like the wackest, most old man shit now ever. I don't even know why anybody thinks it's cool. But I do want it to be legal. I want it to be legal for that reason. Anyway, yeah, I like Kamala. I thought she killed it. Can't tell you a single thing about anything else. Like you said, Bernie Sanders kind of...
I don't know anything about what anybody else said. I don't even know who else. The only other thing that came across my feed was that Marianne Williamson said some crazy shit.
What'd you say?
Some crazy shit.
Oh, I don't even know.
Like some far out left shit that I feel like is probably grounded in her work as like a spiritual teacher. So it just was a little...
Well, there you go then.
Yeah, which is why I didn't even really pay attention to it, because I don't really... She's not a realistic candidate for me. I don't know about Beto. I think Beto's cute and all, but like, just get elected more local. Yeah, get elected on some local shit.
Like everything they accuse Barack of being, Beto is. Like Beto is like not tested.
Yeah, like I love that you were in punk bands.
Awesome.
With the dude who started at the drive-in and Mars Volta and all that, and he vouches for you. Cedric vouches for him, and that's great.
Yes.
But that is not really the criteria that I am seeking.
No.
For my president.
Yeah, I don't know. So I feel like...
And I don't even know who the others are. I mean, I do, but not really.
Yeah, random white guys.
Well, I mean, there's the other lady.
Sorry.
There's a couple
random
ladies.
white people. Other white people.
Well, is Cory Booker there? Is he still like in the mix?
Cory, man, I can't...
Was he
Cory
there?
is like... You know what? Cory is like Val Kilmer Batman. He's like... I still like Batman. Like I do like the idea of a black president, but I'm like, Does Val Kilmer have to play?
Yeah, he's definitely not getting my vote because of right now. The thing I like most about him is that he is in love with Rosario Dawson.
The most interesting thing about him now to me, is that he is in love.
I'm more interested in that video where she's like, "I love you," and he's like, "I love you."
Be that, bro.
That
you're a senator.
That's it for me.
And also, yo, unless your seat in the Senate is like highly defensible, unless your shit is Teflon, do your fucking job. You got elected for 6 years. Is that not enough? 6 years to represent half of a whole goddamn state? Half of a whole goddamn state, man. Do your job. Like, everybody running for, like, we need the Senate too.
I don't feel anything for him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have any desire to see or hear more.
I'm so much happier with you being the senator.
Go ahead and drop out
from New Jersey.
I can stop getting all these emails. Like, do you like this guy? Do you like this guy?
It's not happening.
Do you like this girl? Do you like this guy?
We're done.
Do you like this girl? Do you like this guy? Would you give money here? Would you give money there? Like, fuck. No, stop.
Let's be clear. It's going to be Warren, Biden, Kamala, or Bernie. And it ain't going to be Bernie. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's clear it's not gonna be Bernie. We don't do repeats like that.
No, we don't.
Where it's probably gonna be in the very final analysis, Kamala, Biden, and Warren. That's it.
That's solid. I mean, I'm not super into Biden right now. I think he's just past his time. I can appreciate.
Yeah, man. I think losing Bo has changed him. He doesn't have the same sense of humor. I think a slightly, not even a younger Biden, just an Obama era Biden would have taken that shit about the segregation and been like, "Oh, come on, y'all know what I meant." He would have said, "I'm sorry, my bad."
And then it was weird for him to come back like a month later and apologize.
Yeah,
so it's like,
man.
I feel like.
You could tell when somebody's
like he's that guy that needs like a super young, black, campaign manager, and he doesn't have that. I don't believe. Yes, I don't. So.
I mean, the truth is that Biden only worked in White House with Barack.
Correct.
He ran for office a lot of times, and in America, every time
president.
Yeah,
you tried to get the nomination.
Biden ran for president numerous times.
Oh.
Yeah. And we said, no, thank you. Huh. And he didn't get the nomination, though. He never got the nomination.
Right. Well, but I would remember that.
Yeah. But he tried. Yeah. But no, we didn't want him. And now he's sliding in on Obama's coattails.
You know, that makes sense because I remember when he came out on the ticket with Obama, I was like, who? I said, who? Yeah. But everybody was like, oh, cool. And I get it now because we knew him. It was like,
everybody loves Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe. Yeah, you
from
cool.
Scranton.
Tells it like it is.
I love the story about his dad and
he did make white people feel like, okay, this.
And I
like,
get
Obama's
like he's authentic in that, and I think that same authenticity is going to be a slightly harder sell in this current day and age.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is. Yeah. It's not, he's
no. Yeah. Oh no, Biden is saying the same shit Obama was saying. It's just that we didn't hearing that shit.
Obama couldn't win on the same platform.
No, exactly. Like
in this election.
That argument was lost.
Obama would have to come with some totally different. Like it would just have to be I can't even imagine what it would be.
Well, the tragedy of it is that Obama was only trying to make the argument to the one group of people that was not buying it. Everyone else in America is like, we mostly with this progressive shit. We like this shit, basically. Only group of people who are like, nah, are these non-college educated white girls, and so it's just, it's like I don't want to.
Yeah, I struggle with that because people. I definitely live on the coast, and so not that there isn't racism here in California. I mean, Jesus. But it is a skewed perspective compared to Middle America or the South, and I don't have an answer for how those people are going to feel included and heard and all that. I mean, it's not Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, because
Yeah, that guy, he's a con man. He's the Wizard of Oz. He's the Wizard of Oz.
There are some people who really believe that, and that's their thing, and they're aligning themselves with what is unsaid, which is essentially white supremacy.
Yes,
let's keep white people in charge.
Yes,
but I think there are enough people who aren't necessarily saying, "Okay, we just want white people in charge," but they are saying, "We don't want to be dirt broke anymore."
You know what?
We don't want to lose all our shit.
I feel like this is a wonderful time to bring into. I want to talk about the border, but I'm divided. Okay, do you want to talk about the border, or do you want to talk about this guy in fucking the Bay? Because I feel like that's a perfect tangent of what you're talking about. I
don't know about this Bay area
Okay, let's talk about this guy in the Bay. All right, so
Bay Area.
So a California man brought his son to tears recently when he insisted on calling the police on an African-American man waiting for his friend in the lobby of what is apparently a Bay Area apartment building. I'm going to play for you some of this sound clippage. You can see some of this. I mean, you can hear it.
Friend on the call box and have them come down.
They don't have to do that. You could just walk away.
I'm going to call the police.
Oh, yes. Call the police. Remember that, I remember this exactly happening when I used to live in my own condo, and then people used to call the police all the time.
Sir, I'll hold the door here for you while
that
you call
is okay. Nobody's asking you to hold the door. You can do whatever you want. But I'm recording you right now, and you're going to be the next person. Look at this.
You don't need to threaten me. You just need
I'm
to
not threatening you.
You are.
I'm not threatening you.
I'm going to be the next person what?
You're just going to be the next person on TV. Just remember that. And you have your son with you. That's why I asked you if that's your son. It's better. I will delete this.
Yeah, there's a trespasser in my building.
Listen to your son.
Daddy, go. It's the better. I agree with him, Dad. It's the better.
At Washington.
Let's go. Please, I don't like this. I don't like
He's
this.
standing in the lobby.
This man is very mercifully not filming the child. I want to note he has not got the camera pointed at the child.
As I left, he walked in.
I tailgated to the door.
He appears to be African American.
Appears to be
African American.
Appears to be
I don't know.
35, software engineer.
Pink polo shirt and a Yankees cap.
He's a software engineer.
All good. Software engineer, brother.
I don't care if he flips
Pink polo
burgers.
shirt. And tennis shoes, jeans. Yeah. You have to be here for when they call him.
He's filming me and refusing to leave.
Wait for the
saying
end.
I'm going to be the next person on TV.
Yes, sir. You don't remember this? The girl that was told. He's married. Wow. You know that's illegal now, right?
510 472.
Yeah, that's illegal to call cops
He
on
said he's
African
here for a
Americans.
friend. He said he's waiting for a friend, and I asked
Yes.
him to dial on the call box, and he said
It's not illegal to wait for a friend.
So
And it's not your job to verify.
Yeah, so I'm here to just rob whatever, a mailbox.
I'm just asking you for your friend's name.
I don't give a fuck. I don't have to tell you shit.
So what they don't show is that later. Hold on, let me see if I can get to the. I won't play the whole thing over again.
Remember, I'm recording you. I'm fucking recording you.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm fucking recording you.
Hey, don't use that language in front of children.
Oh, well, it was your fault for bringing him out here in the first place. I told you that's his son.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's actually here.
Yeah, he's actually here. Yeah, go ahead. I'm recording you.
He refused to identify.
Yeah.
And now he's filming me.
Look at you.
What is he doing?
Look at you.
Stop it.
Stop filming.
Look at you.
Take your phone away from me.
If you touch me, I'll fucking
Take your phone. Take your phone away from me.
Okay. No, I'm not doing any of that. You're going to be.
So mind you, the friend that showed up was handicapped.
I mean, I don't know what that has to do with the story.
Because the guy was saying, call your friends so they can come down and get you, and he was saying, no, they don't have to do that. Was one of the things the guy said. Like the fucking level of interrogation that people feel entitled to.
I mean, this just goes back to when white people could just deputize any other white person and be like, let's go get them slaves. And it's just like,
I'm triggered.
It's ingrained that they can self-deputize to basically act as some sort of pseudo
This
law
John
enforcement
Wayne shit.
to verify. I mean, Zimmerman is the ultimate. He killed somebody on that shit.
I'm literally triggered, and you didn't see it because I didn't show it to you
That
yet. But his
poor
face,
child.
his face turns red when the black man's friend shows up. His face is red with shame. You could see it on his face.
And I saw the transcript. The son is like, "See, I told you, let's go."
What's
I mean,
crazy? What's crazy is I don't want to assume from what I'm seeing here, but it doesn't look like this child is entirely white.
That's neither here nor there.
It is a little bit presently there because it is scary to me, the idea of a white supremacist raising a minority child and have it being so internalized and so unaware.
Because to him, he's not minority. He's half white, so he's white, and he probably moves through the world as white because of his father.
Look, this is the guy. This is his son.
And, whether it's biological or adopted or whatever, he's not black. Come on, y'all.
He tried
the whole POC thing.
He tried to delete his LinkedIn, Facebook, and other accounts, but Black Twitter got him.
Wow. And we'll see what happens.
His son, I see a clearer picture. His son is Asian. His son is at least partially Asian.
It just pains me because
the entitlement, the fact that I gotta explain to you
that's an experience that he will remember.
And the child begged him. The child is begging him to see sense. To see sense. Please, you look what you got us into. Look what you got us. I mean,
that's
that's painful one. Anyway, it's just like the racism is a tick. It digs into you so deep, and you don't realize it's you.
Really
this white guy, he did not
wrong.
think he didn't.
Not only does he not think he's doing anything wrong, he thinks he's doing the right thing. They're never ambivalent.
It makes me so tired.
They feel very righteous.
It makes me so tired.
It's exhausting. That just happened to my friend. He recorded. He was this guy I know. He was delivering some camera equipment to his friend so they could shoot something in Westwood. And a neighbor came out like, "Who are you? What are you doing? Why are you here?" And he started recording him. And was like, "I'm going to call the cops because you won't tell me this and that." And this wasn't even in trying to enter an apartment. This was just on a residential street. And, he eventually just stopped. But, I mean, it happens all the time.
Yeah, man. It's just this sense, like you said, this sense of that they can deputize themselves to police our validity. Police our validity in a particular area. It's just unbelievable, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. The more I consider the way that I move through the world, I think a large part of the reason I do wear dreadlocks the way that I do, and I kind of dress kind of bummy a lot of times is because there are certain wavelengths of blackness. They're almost like glitches in the Matrix, where if you portray a certain type of blackness, you could be yourself but also be acceptable. Like when I first moved out here, do you know how many fucking times I was called Bob Marley? And everybody's singing some Bob Marley songs to me and all that shit. And at first it used to make me really angry. And then I started to realize, well, at least they're not shooting at me. At least they're not fucking saying I can't come inside. I can't belong. I can't be a part of the event. It's kind of like, more I think about it, LA is kind of like that, man. Maybe it's just the natural consequence of being a company town. Whatever you eat, you become. And we live off entertainment and acting and that kind of shit. But everybody's kind of cast out here. Everybody kind of comes out and you get a role. You find out very quickly what the fuck you are. Like if you a little chubby, you figure out, if you're going to stay out in LA, you're going to figure out how to make chubby work for you. Like, you're going to figure out how to make that be a thing, a part of your character and personality. Like, if you got buck teeth, that's going to become a part of your personality. It's going to become a part of your image. Everything is a lot of, I don't know how I feel about that, but it's just something that occurred to me. In terms of the way that we survive out here, without the traditional sort of pressures of race the way they are in the South and the East Coast, where it's mostly black versus white. You know what I mean? And out here, it's just multifractal. It's like, you know, it ain't black versus white. It's black versus white versus Vietnamese versus Cambodian versus Cantonese versus Indians versus, you know, it's like it's too many. There's so many people out here. But what the one thing we all have in common is the movies and TV. And everybody's got somebody that wants to be in movies or in the TV or knows something about movies and the TVs. And I just noticed, and it just occurred to me how quickly people fall. And that doesn't happen in other places. But it's normal out here so much that you don't even think about. Anyway, I'm sorry. That's LA shit, guys.
I am going to go check on the little ones in the bathroom.
Because they might be doodling.
I feel like it's been a while.
It's been a while and we haven't heard a single thing.
I have not gotten
a single
update.
All right. Well, I will save this other thing I want to talk to you about because it is more catching hell, but it is another good one. And I need your opinion on it because it's about the policing of black women's bodies. But in the meantime...
Oh, yeah. We got a couple of that woman that was charged for manslaughter after somebody else shot her.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's much worse than what I was going to talk about. But yes, that too. In the meantime, let's talk about some good news. Barbie, the newest Barbie, is a black one. And she's in a wheelchair, which is good because there are some little black girls who are in wheelchairs and they need and deserve Barbies and representation. Yes. So Barbie has been around since 1959 and is celebrating her 60th anniversary this year. And Mattel has a series of things occurring for the moment. But the one thing that consumers seem to be most excited about is the Barbie is not only black, but she's in a wheelchair. And she's in the fashionista line. And not only is she in a wheelchair, but she also comes with a ramp for accessibility. That's dope. Diversity, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. What else? Let me cleanse your palate from that good news. And let's talk about the racist Border Patrol groups in Facebook. Yeah, that's right. So, big picture, Facebook got into a lot of trouble, because of privacy and accidentally selling your data to Cambridge Analytica so that they can get Trump elected. You're welcome. They got into trouble and a lot of people dropped it. I mean, Wozniak thinks you should drop it. He invented the Apple and you're on a Mac right now, right? Because you're prosperous and wealthy. If you're not, then you need to get in touch with Jesus or whatever God, because God wants you to have money. You know that. I kid y'all. But anyways, so Facebook made a pivot, and the pivot they're making currently is apparently cryptocurrency and private groups. They want to make groups, which back in my era, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, they were called chat rooms. Chat rooms, that's right. Everything old is new. Everything new is old again, or everything old is new again, as the saying goes. So Facebook's new pivot is to create these groups where people can have like interests and post and I guess feel more free to expose themselves and give away their most private, intimate details about whatever they hate or love most passionately. This is nothing can go wrong here. This is a perfect recipe for human civility, right? Turns out when you give a bunch of teenagers an island, they don't create a utopia. It turns into Lord of the Flies. Such was the case when Facebook group of Border Patrol agents started getting together to share their thoughts about things. Kick it. Shoot the shit. Yeah. So apparently what that amounted to was a lot of memes. You know what kind of memes. Rhymes with acist. So anyways, for some reason though, these Border Patrol agents, like your cousin who keeps flashing his money phone and his gat on Instagram, they forgot that this shit is all public and everyone can see them. We see you. So they were found out and now they're being investigated. And it's awful because what you don't want is wolves shepherding the sheep. You don't want racists shepherding the people who are the object of racism. It's bad. Do I have to say this over and over again? No, I think I'm clear enough. Honey, what?
Update.
What's
So
going
I
on?
got in there, and Ellison is playing Talking Tom. So normally when I give him the
All right.
iPad, he watches some videos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kids opening toys and reviewing clips of shows. Booba. Not playing games at 11 o'clock at night. And
yeah.
I
That's a good
determined,
one.
I said, Ellison, you tricked your brother.
Yeah, that's a good one. That was a good
And he
one.
said, he kind of admitted to it. And then I said, if you haven't gone, I don't think it's happening right now. And I said, put Tom to sleep. And so he did. And then
Okay.
he turned off the iPad. And now, just now, they're brushing their teeth.
That's a good one.
So
That's a good one. That's a good one. I was just talking about racist Border
they're
Patrol
there.
agents.
Yeah, I gathered.
I want to talk about the American Airlines thing, but you had a good one you want to talk about, but I also want to refresh my drink. So why don't you talk to them about something and you can vamp for that.
Oh, let me see if I can pull it up there.
I'll be
Here.
right back, guys.
Let's see here. I try to save these things throughout the week, and then I come talk to you guys about it. Okay. There was a woman who was involved in an altercation and with another woman. Now, woman A was pregnant, and woman B shot her, and the baby died as a result of this gunfire. And I believe it's in Alabama. They were then charging woman A with manslaughter and holding her responsible for the death of the child, even though she didn't shoot herself, but under the grounds that she instigated the altercation. And it was just so egregious because not only is she grieving, but now she is potentially criminally liable. And I just think that, again, it just continues the conversation about, you know, how do fetuses essentially have more rights than the woman carrying it.
Oh, wow. This story. Oh, yeah.
And
this was a good
so,
one. This was a good one. Yeah.
I guess it's ended well. I say that in quotes because the DA decided not to prosecute her.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's
yes,
good.
the manslaughter charges were dropped.
Okay.
So, you know, and
I feel like that was just I feel like all of this shit right now, we're at the peak of a culture war, which is, I really truly believe that at the bottom of this is the Civil War. Like, and I feel like because a lot of this shit doesn't make any sense. And even if you go to the other side, they know better. Like, on the other side, nobody really believes that they're going to eliminate abortion. They know people can still eliminate abortions. Like nobody's, like, it's not like they're retarded or anything, or, you know, like, it's just so disingenuous. I feel like all of these are literally, I feel like all of these attacks are political. Like that,
and this was no exception.
Yeah, like this is a political attack.
This is really, again, what I was saying was that it continues the conversation of, does a fetus have as much rights, if not more, than the woman carrying it?
Yeah.
And for them to try and you know, it's been going on for some time. If you take certain medications or on drugs, they add on criminal charges to the person who used because of the effect on the unborn child. So it was definitely a slippery slope, because if that had gone through, then, you know, could have been a watershed moment in that area to really go.
Whew, that's scary, man.
Whole hog. It's terrifying, and
that's like that. That's that Handmaid's Tale shit.
I know it's back on. I haven't caught up. I mean, I just caught up on Big Little Lies, so it's a lot of drama.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
So, you know, I I just pray that she can find peace because, this was a child that she wanted. And so that's the argument some are using. Well, then she shouldn't have been fighting with nobody. But I mean, you're going to have arguments and altercations. There's never a reason, I believe, for the other person to then pull out a gun and just shoot you.
Well,
so I don't know that.
Yeah, it's
and
like
it just continues to highlight that the legislation these states are pushing essentially makes pregnancy a liability.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, then I don't want no part of it.
Yeah, it contradicts the very thing.
Because if I can be prosecuted for any which way,
why would I want to take? Yeah,
I didn't drink enough water today. I didn't do the proper walking that the doctor recommended.
This is how
I
you
didn't
get to
take the correct prenatal pills or care, and now there are criminal charges.
No, you said you're breaking it down. You're explaining the pathway of how you realistically get to handmaid's tale. How the state steps in and goes, well, we have to take care of fertile women to make sure that when they get pregnant, that they don't ever endanger the child because the child is more important.
And it's Pandora's box, because then it's like, so if you don't get pregnant, you just don't have as many rights. We don't give a fuck about you. Like, we're not gonna spend money on ensuring that you are healthy or have health care or provided for, it's just, and then the children that once they're born, again, without this example, it's like, where is the legislation that ensures the well-being of children after they are born, and that the parents have good paying jobs and health care and a good education system, in their area, so that they're not criminalized for trying to send the kid to a different school. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. So I feel like we dodged a bullet with that one. No pun intended.
That's good. Speaking of dodging bullets and catching a few, I think also the Supreme Court decisions happened while we were gone. One, gerrymandering is cool. Did we talk about that already?
No, we didn't.
Yeah. Gerrymandering is totally cool, guys. Stop worrying so much about it, guys. The Supreme Court thought really hard about it, and they can't figure out how to solve it. It's been going on forever. It just is what it is. So, just fucking deal with it, and so that is what it is. So that's the bad news. If we got rid of the electoral college, would gerrymandering even be an issue? Still on the state level, yeah.
Okay, on the state level.
Yeah, state level would be big time. And that tends to be where it's the fucked up. But yeah, on a federal level, no. It would
right, because it would just be one vote.
Yeah.
One person,
exactly.
one vote.
But it would still fuck up the Senate, because the way they decide how people are elected and all that shit, and all that shit.
Or really the House of Representatives
and House of Representatives,
and the state Senate.
Yeah, and they could also fuck up the Senate too, because all those elections are handled by state election boards, which are run by the state government.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not to be all cynical about it, but like whoever controls it, like remember, like Bush W got elected because his brother was the governor of Florida.
Oh, I recall.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
that was the first time I ever cried.
That was our initiation into fucking politics, y'all.
Like
that is how we came into it. Yes.
My first vote.
Yes.
And I remember my birthday's in October, and I remember I had a banger of a birthday party at the house, and I set up a little voter registration area right there on the washer dryer. People could fill it out, and I intentionally turned them all in. And if people were like, hey, I didn't get my ballot, I followed up and was like, okay, let me check, because I had all the stubs or whatever, and made sure that they were enrolled or registered or whatever. And I remember watching those results come in, and it was the first time I cried about the results. And even though it wasn't officially decided on election night, you kind of knew that it probably wasn't going to end in our favor. What was his name? John Kerry. Was it John Kerry?
No, that was the next one. W that was the second one. He lost to Gore first. He won against Gore first.
Gore. We love some Gore.
Gore, man. Gore.
He was talking that environmental shit from the beginning, and
yes, he was. Anyway, the point is that was definitely that was a hotep back then, so I didn't vote. So those were like the first elections I didn't vote in because I was like, this shit is all rigged. It's all fake. It's all bullshit.
I think once you have children, it's kind of hard.
You can't not vote when you're an adult because you realize there are actual things at stake that affect your money. that affect real things. When you broke in college, who gives a fuck who's president? You're still broke in college. Yeah,
you're still on your parents' health care.
Yeah, it's not real to you. I get it. That's really the ultimate. That's why I like what's happening now. That because young people are getting so that everybody's getting fucked up.
I think also a lot of it, or
young
what's
people
really
have to
kind of
participate as well.
turned the tide a little bit for young people in particular, not even at voting age, are these damn school shootings.
That and school loans. I think it's
both. I'm saying, college age, it's the school loans and the debt you come out of and the economy and all of that. And then
the high schools, it's the guns.
Are not eligible to vote yet, it's these school shootings.
Yeah, I agree. It's
and the lack of action on the part of our government and then you curb it.
Then you couple that with the meta story of the environment and how it's going to be too late in 10 years and there's no sign that we give a fuck enough to do anything about it to avert that. Basically, I've been watching Euphoria, y'all, and the shit is blowing.
Oh, I haven't watched it. Side note, we still have up the image of this Bay Area who ignored his son's plea not to call the police, and I'm just looking at this little boy's face, and it just occurred to me, I hope this little boy grows up to marry a black woman.
Oh, yes.
And this white man has to reckon with that.
That would be so...
And maybe his son is like, you know what? You cannot be in our life. You cannot see your grandchildren. Sorry, I'm petty, y'all. Sometimes
I'm petty too. I'm super petty.
I hope he gets his.
That's my karma in
this
life.
His son, and he'll be like, "Remember that time? You know what really got me? Remember when I was like 7, and you called the police on that innocent black dude? It just got me thinking."
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Christopher.
Moving along, there's a lot more bullshit. American Airlines apologizes for forcing a black female passenger to cover up.
Now, what is going on? This romper, how is this inappropriate? See, this is, again, the policing of black women's bodies. This romper is, quote unquote, what, form-fitting? Because of her body. Not because it's too short or revealing anything, but because people can see her figure. And because she's black. That's a crime.
And apparently because she's black.
For black women, that's a crime.
Yeah.
If they're not making money off of it, they don't want to see it.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty mucho. See?
This is crazy. This romper is not even remotely it's not upper booty. It's not up in her coat. I don't understand.
See guys, it's just a regular normal tire.
But show the side because I'm glad she did that because it's booty.
Hold on, let me see.
You're like, okay, booty, but that's just her body.
Yeah, that's just how she looked.
It's not making it. It's not showing. There's no butt cheeks hanging out.
No, it's covering up there's nothing even hanging out.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Because of her body type, it is. It's not totally, basically. It's not how it fits on many other women.
Yeah.
And so her backside is pronounced in this romper, but but why is that inappropriate? Because it's not revealing.
That's right.
And, a portion of her bottom.
And mind you, she's on the way to the islands.
To Jamaica? I mean,
she's on the way. Okay, hold up. Let me read you some of this. All right. A Texas family physician is outraged after y'all. Doctor,
it doesn't matter.
Dr. Romper.
Is that what they're called?
A Texas family physician is outraged after she claims an American Airlines flight attendant ordered her to cover her outfit with a blanket or be put off the plane. So, in a tweet, what does the tweet say? The tweet said,
"That's crazy.
When defending my outfit, I was threatened with not getting back on the flight unless I walked down the aisle wrapped in a blanket. There was nothing I could do in the moment other than give up my money and my seat to defend my position that I was completely appropriate. There was never an ounce of empathy, an ounce of apology, or any attempt to maintain my dignity through the situation. She said, I don't see it written here, but I did read this earlier. She only gave up because her son started crying.
I mean,
and so she was with her son, and he started crying. So she stopped making a scene. She was on her way from Kingston, Jamaica.
How did I know?
To Miami.
You know how I know? Because I one time took the flight from Miami to Jamaica, and it was like breezy, cold. I had a hoodie on, sweatshirt, whatever. And then I got to Jamaica, and I thought I was going to die. I was so hot. And I realized, you should dress for the weather of the destination, particularly if it's a tropical island. And so it is completely makes sense.
Yes.
Or either way, or it makes sense for her to be dressed like that coming from a very hot and humid climate.
Goddamn right.
And
also, like you keep pointing out,
and
whatever she want to wear on her body,
whatever she want to wear. It's fucking America, right?
As she brings up, she's like, and
she paid good money for the ticket.
And as I've seen before too, she said I seen white women with much shorter shorts board a plane without a blink of an eye. She also brings up, not in this article, but I read another one where she brought up the fact that she felt she had just recently had a child, and not just recently, but she had a child. And she struggled for years to come to terms with her new body and like the new curves and stuff, and she felt like all of that was triggered back in her. And like these motherfuckers be thinking that we don't have sensitive, delicate, nuanced feelings or whatever,
or just feelings at all.
Yo, it's just
feelings at all.
It's like a lot
we're
of things,
not
man.
Full human.
And I've seen mad white girls walking with Daisy Duke booty cutter shorts.
I see little white girls wearing essentially underwear out on the street.
Unbelievable, man.
So, it's
because they over-sexualize our bodies. It's because they over-sexualize our bodies.
Exactly.
And
Sarah Bartman right here.
I don't want to talk.
Why do you have the Kardashians up?
Oh, it was a wonderful list from Madame Noir about every black woman the Kardashians have wronged in pursuit of love and money, and it was just a deliciously funny article.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. I just noted it. I already talked about newest black Barbie in a wheelchair while you were gone. Go ahead.
Nope.
Happy birthday to Alelia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Alelia Murphy.
How old is she?
She is the nation's oldest woman at 114 years.
Whoa, she look good.
She looks wonderful.
Whoa, y'all, I'm tripping. This woman looks like
hold on, let me give you some of this.
Tops.
She
don't have no gray. I mean, she could be dyeing it, but
she's absolutely dyeing her hair. But she's still
don't have
living
no gray.
her life like she's golden.
She looks. I mean, she's clearly alert and has all of her faculties
doing her thing.
Look at her. She got her earrings on, her lipstick on.
She's in Harlem.
Go ahead, Alelia.
I'm happy for her.
Alelia.
I know that name.
Sorry,
it's
I'm
beautiful,
terrible.
but I cannot pronounce it. It is Alelia. Y'all get it right. Alelia. Oh my God. I can't do it.
Alelia.
Okay. Moving along, a study has shown that a $15 minimum wage could lift 1.3 million out of poverty.
God dang, then let's do it already.
The downside is it would trigger about 1.3 million job losses. So it's a little bit of a balancing act. It would bring a lot of people out of poverty, but here's the thing I've always said, and this is some real shit. Most of the jobs people have is bullshit jobs that nobody can live on. I mean, like a part-time job is great if you could, but like $15 an hour working at McDonald's 30 hours a week, or Walmart or whatever, that's not enough for a human being to live on. Even if two people in a household living at that level, they can't live on that really. So I've always been saying that these jobs are kind of half jobs. They're not even really real.
I'm no economist, but I feel like that 1.3 million jobs, eventually, the people who lost jobs would eventually get new jobs.
That's what I'm saying. But better
right.
ones.
And then they would make a living wage.
That's what I think. I mean,
because the economy would take time, but it would adjust. Employers, small businesses, insurance, whatever the fuck, would adjust.
Exactly. Like people act like,
and we're quick to do it on some other shit. You know, what I'm saying?
A heartbeat. Well, we act like
everything else.
Corporations are all going to leave America
Never.
If they have to pay, it's like nobody's getting off the America train because America has all the motherfucking guns. This is like, I was telling Langston this the other day. I was like explaining the history of America, and I'm like, America has only not been whooping ass for 16 years out of 250 that we've been a country. 16 years, y'all, we have not been at war. That should tell you something. Like, if you meet a motherfucker on the street and he be like, I just be stay whooping a motherfucker's ass all the time. Nigga, I wish a nigga would fuck with me. Y'all met that dude before. Do you want to hang out with that dude? Is that dude a cool dude to invite to your parties? The only reason you invite that dude to your parties is like Debo. The only reason you invite Debo to the party is because you know if you don't, he gonna fuck your party up. And that's what America is. And I was trying to explain that to him. Like, all we do is provide security for the mall. That's it. Everybody else owns all the stores in the mall. Americans don't own none of this shit. It's all Chinese, Indian, Vietnamese. All these people manufacture all the stuff that we want. Japanese, all the stuff that we want. Korean, all the stuff that we want, right? German stuff, European stuff, all the stuff that we want. Italian, Gucci, all the stuff that y'all want. All Versace, all the shit that ain't American, all the stuff that we want. All we do is provide security for the mall so people can shop. That's all we do. So we act like if corporations got to pay higher taxes or pay the mob a higher vig on the fucking protection money or whatever, that they gonna leave. They're not gonna leave. They're not gonna leave because we got all.
No, they're not gonna leave. We wouldn't even know what to do with ourselves if we couldn't go shop.
Come on, y'all. Nobody's closing this mall down. So let's get this $15 an hour cooking. Okay, so everybody can be making so everybody can get a washing machine,
right? So everyone can then basically spend it. I mean, that's the other thing.
We're not even talking communism here.
We're gonna go spend it, and then some people might try to invest it.
It's unbelievable.
But we're basically just gonna spend it. Eventually, car sales go up.
Yes.
Home sales gonna go up.
Yes.
Bullshit.
The more money,
go up.
the more money people have to spend on real shit, the more capital there is for entrepreneurs and small businessmen to actually create new shit. Right now, the only new shit that we create is television shows, y'all. That's all we create is new.
That's why it's so good, honestly.
It is good. It is really good. But it's 1920s. It's the Gilded Age. It's like we just keep putting more ornamentation on the same old shit, like the iPhone and the iPads and all this stuff.
Only for the corporations, not for the workers.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying, like, the iPhones keep squeezed. Writers are all cut their agents. I mean, everyone's getting squeezed because they're making the corporations, the studios, the agencies are making so much money on the backs of the actual creative work. Yeah, and they're not getting that money. They are not getting that money,
and it ain't gonna change
from all these views.
It's not gonna change. It's not going to change. Well, it's not because they just changed the laws, and even the laws now, it's not going to. It's not necessarily going to result in actors making more money. What it may do is that actors who have been shit out of luck because they were in SAG, and a lot of the shops that were making non-SAG commercials, because that was a thing to do. That was the way to do for the last decade. They couldn't get work, but now under these new rules, SAG is a part of the party, and they're saying, "All right, yeah, you can have these." The thing is, though, it's like what the record companies had to go through, where it's like, "All right, either we take no money because Napster takes it all because it's all free, or we figure out how to make this streaming shit work," which is different than from the money we used to eat off, but it at least is actual money, because it's all new now. I'm working on projects now where I'm being told shit I've never been told before. Like, yeah, we gonna take footage from the commercial shoot, and you can use it however you want in digital.
Well, see, this is the thing possible. Too. The actors are making a little bit more money because basically now, because now there's tiers. Before it was basically like union, non-union, and the union, it was like a very complicated contract. Now we are accounting what the win, I think, for SAG actors. I listened to a whole podcast where they really went in. Okay. The win is that now we're like, okay, look, if you're going to do it on TV, that's tier A. Yeah. But if you're going to do it on internet only, that's tier B. Got it. If you don't know if you're going to do it on TV or internet, that's tier C. And basically they have agreed that And so basically everyone can pick and choose, and they pay out an amount that everyone is okay with.
Right. It gives agencies like mine the flexibility
options.
to say get like, well, look, if it's going to be C and it's going to cost this much, then this is how interested we are. If it's going to be A and TV,
exactly.
Like we can actually make a budget around it.
Right, exactly, because before the budget, how it was, they couldn't get that, and they didn't know, and more importantly, they didn't know how it was going to be used. That's right. So they didn't want to pay basically tier A for it never to be on broadcast, and actors didn't want to work and get paid this smaller amount and then see it on Snapchat, on Instagram, on YouTube, on basically a million platforms, on Hulu, and being like, well, y'all paid me like it was just going to be on TV.
That's right.
So now they have kind of started to work out the details and the nuance of how people consume content. And I love it. That's one win, but that's only commercials. Basically, TV about to come up.
Yeah.
So they got but that's good because it's kind of set a precedent. So then they can use that. And in terms of what the writers are doing, I don't know. Good luck to them.
I think it's going to open a floodgate. I think it's good.
You got to. The money's there.
I mean, they thought the music industry was going to collapse, and streaming has been the salvation of it. But now the argument or the negotiation is how much should it's the never-ending argument. How much should the artists get? From how much is a stream worth,
And to be honest, it's kind of hard to tell because we don't know, especially, and what was so hard 10 years ago is we didn't know what Amazon was going to be, or the Amazon Prime, it was going to have a streaming, and Hulu. Well, we didn't know what Hulu was going to become. We didn't know what Netflix had up their sleeve.
Well, I'll go you one further.
All of it.
I'll go you one further with with some cynical shit, because also the problem is once you get into digital, you can't fake TV. Like if a TV commercial runs, it ran. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ran. You know how many people normally watch a show, or they estimate it, or whatever, and it ran. Ironically enough, with digital, which was supposed to sort of deliver, accountability, and like now we know everybody that watches commercial and shit. What really happens is now you got fucking server farms of people with nothing. Oh, is that our kids?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go check on them.
Why are they?
But basically, you can fake it.
I'm gonna FaceTime them.
Oh yeah, do that. You can fake it now. You could fake plays on the internet. You could have like iPhones. They have iPhones all set up in big ass rooms in South Asia and whatnot.
Hi, are you knocking?
Yeah.
What's up?
I've been in your room because Allison doesn't want to be by himself.
Okay.
And I'm just tired to figure anything out.
Oh, that's fair.
Just lay down in there. It's fine.
Yeah, just go to bed.
Go to sleep.
But I want to sit in my bed.
Oh, I see. All right, I'll come in there right quick.
Okay, Daddy's coming.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. Yeah, just go in your bed. Daddy's coming. Tell Ellison Daddy's coming. Love you. Bye-bye. Good night. Love you.
Good night.
Whew, y'all, I don't know how people be doing these podcasts with children. I mean, honestly, in the daytime, it's even worse. Because then they really got energy. Weekend, they're here. This is why we already start so late every time. I don't know what people is doing. This is why, honestly, sometimes we just don't have a podcast. Because it's summertime, kids is up late. It's a bit of a struggle, y'all. Sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle. I kind of wanted to talk about, let me see if I can find the article, because I am a big soccer fan since back in the day. High school, I used to play a little bit, and the women's national team just won the World Cup.
Yay!
For the second time in a row.
That is a good thing.
And these are just like some badass athletes. It's really amazing. I feel like even if you're not into soccer, which I can totally understand, some people aren't, but when they play, it's not boring. It doesn't go like 0-0 to penalty kicks.
No, all they do is win. They
are out there. Seriously, they are out there. They are making these plays, and they are at peak peak athleticism in their sport.
Have we mentioned that they get paid less, though?
They have not yet. So they more than deserve equal pay, if not more, than the men. So it's been revealed that, first of all, we've been talking equal pay since the last World Cup because the men didn't even win. This year,
they losing.
This year, the men's national team didn't even qualify for the World Cup. Do you understand how many countries get to the World Cup, at least the first round? The U.S. men's national soccer team did not even qualify for the World Cup coming up in 2 years.
They trumped up,
the women's national team not only qualified, they won again. And so as winners, they got, I think the amount was $275,000 bonus. But if the men had won, they were going to get $1.1 million each. It's not a little bit difference.
I'm hating.
It's a lot.
I'm hating.
It's a lot of money. They've got views. They are getting people in the seats.
That is some bullshit, man.
And, and then I just love Megan Rapinoe. I mean, how can you not?
Yeah.
How can you not? I mean, for a while now, she's a superstar.
Yep.
She is the only other American athlete outside of Colin Kaepernick to take a knee during the national anthem.
I didn't know she did it.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Yes. She did it at one of her club teams, her club games, and she did it at one of the national games.
Okay.
And
she's super openly gay.
And she is in a superstar coupling with Sue Bird from the Seattle whatever team of the Women's National Basketball Association.
Crazy.
And they're champions.
Crazy.
And I just love that. I mean, a clip came out where they were like, hey, if you guys win, are you going to go to the White House? And I think before she could even really think about it, she's like, I ain't going to the fucking White House.
No way, fucking get the fuck.
I'm not going to the fucking. Then she tried to clean it up. She's like, but I don't even think we're going to be invited. And I just love her honesty and her authenticity. And I love that when she scores, she goes out there and she's like, yes, I did it. I'm amazing. Because she is. And wouldn't no one ever accuse them of being too arrogant or too boastful if they were men? We would be like, woo, woo, USA. And thankfully, more and more people are rooting for them and acknowledging the excellence they bring to the game and how much money they are providing in terms of visibility and endorsements about the sport and to highlight the talent that the United States really brings to this sport. And they more than deserve that win. I watched almost all the games. They're freaking superstars. And also when she won, she did quote Nipsey Hussle.
Yes.
I kind of, and her brothers
ain't really tripping on the credit. I just paid all of my dues. I just respected the game. Now my name all in the news. Tripping on all of my moves. Quote me on this. Got a lot to prove. Yeah. Good taste. Good taste. She's
kind of amazing. Really and congratulations to all of them on the team. And if anyone who loves soccer like I do, I just want to shout out. I mean, Megan Rapinoe gets all the love. Yep. Rightly so. Alex Morgan gets a lot of love. She scores and she's pretty. So, but you know what? Who's really the star of these teams, of the team, in my opinion? Rose Lavelle. She scored the winning goal, basically. Well, no. Megan scored a penalty kick that got it 1-0, and then Rose basically put the nail in the coffin with a second goal, and she's just so good. Rose Lavelle is a fucking baller. And then I also want to highlight the black girl on the team, Crystal Dunn, because she plays in the back, and I'm telling you, that girl is wherever you need her to be.
I just love when we talk about sports, how I become the dumb spouse and you're like the jock, and I'm like, that's so lovely. Good. I'm like, that's so nice. And they put the ball in the thingy.
I also watched the Gold Cup, which is like the CONCACAF. It's like U.S., Mexico, Canada, Caribbean teams for the men. And although U.S. made it to the final, I mean, they didn't stand a chance against Mexico. And to their credit, it's in transition. They had older players who left, retired, Kobe Jones, Landon, whoever, and now they got some young dudes, like one here, and so they need time. But all that being said, even more reasons, like, pay these women because they are carrying the torch for soccer as far as the United States is going. They are showing up and showing out. They win. Boom. They fucking win.
Pay 'em.
Let's pay them like
Pay 'em.
goddamn winners.
Pay me like you owe me. Pay me like you owe me. Yeah, man. So, okay, here's some bad news.
What?
Black man in Florida dies after a pack of pit bulls viciously bit him. Okay, see, I'm tired of y'all trying to convince me that these pit bulls are safe, okay? Because clearly there is a zombie virus going around.
With every dog,
Mm-hmm.
it is the owner.
No. In this instance, there is a pack of savage wild pit bulls roaming around Florida. Of course, Florida, honey. Of course, Florida. Where the zombie apocalypse comes, it's absolutely coming from Florida. This is a horrible story, though. I mean,
I don't even want to hear this.
A vicious attack on a 45-year-old Melvin Oles Jr.
On
happened
July 4th.
on July 4th in a wooded area behind a home. According to the Highlands County Sheriff's Office, the stray pack of dogs are likely responsible for the man's brutal death, and the 6 pit bull mixes were found after authorities and animal services laid out traps to capture them.
They were hungry.
They bit him, I can't see, over 100 times, and he died.
I mean, okay, look. If anyone knows shit about dogs, you gotta understand each breed. And some dogs were originally, their physicality, and they were bred to basically go out hunting with, or go bite the animal, and then the owner comes and gets it and does the final kill. Or, okay, I'm shooting the bird, and you go get it.
Dogs.
Or, we're out in the tundra, so you gonna help keep me warm and carry the whiskey. Or, I'm doing the Iditarod, you gotta pull the sled. Or
they're adapted to certain
what I'm saying? So, that being said, if you leave any animal, any mammal out into the wild, they are going to be operating on pure survival instincts. That also goes for humans.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like, okay, yeah, they're pit bulls, and they always get a bad rap, but I'm saying, pull up on any pack of wild dogs. Pack of 6 wild dogs who don't have regular food, and they're operating on pure survival instinct, and tell me they're not gonna bite your ass. I'm not clearly this man did nothing wrong, but let's not give pit bulls a bad rap.
No, I don't.
They
No,
happen
definitely
to be
not.
the breed
Definitely
that
not.
were out on the wild.
And they said they were mixes too, so they might have been mixed with werewolf. Who knows?
But you see how the headline is, because that's what we want to talk about,
right? But my point, really, more thing is, that I think they could have been any type of dogs. Doesn't matter to me.
Straight up,
it's wild to me that all this post-apocalyptic shit is creeping in quietly into the background of the city. Now the homeless people have moved back onto the bicycle trail. The city authorities came through, they cleared them out for a minute. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but I do like it. I don't know how I feel about them being dislocated and about them not having a resource shit. But on the other hand, it was mad weird to have a bunch of tents around me at night when I'm riding home. But now I see this shit is just like whack-a-mole. They just moved back. They're just here now.
Well, because now they're cleaning up another area.
So now we just got people living on the streets. Okay, that's just gonna be a thing now. We just Mad Maxing it.
Well,
then wild dogs, and then wild dogs roaming the street biting niggas until they die.
After the earthquakes we had here in Cali,
right, and then earthquakes.
I did a whole
cracks in the
Instagram story about the earthquake.
Guys, I can't believe we haven't talked about this yet. There were earthquakes in California.
There were some big. So on 4th of July, it was a big one, a big rolling one.
And turns out
that was a pre-quake to the real
7.1.
To the 7.1, which caused a fissure in the earth that can
visible
be seen from space.
A crack in the damn earth, y'all. Y'all think we are standing on something solid. It is not.
Look.
It's moving.
If you live in Cali, get your shit together.
Yeah, that's
Google
real talk.
the list.
Good
make
gracious.
the copies of your important papers. Get that little water. Get some non-perishables. Get your first aid. Get your crank radio. Get your lights, your batteries, your your flashlights and things that don't use batteries. I mean, get your shit together. Seriously, if you got kids, get that. If you got glasses, put that in. If you got medication, put that in, and put some cash in there. Yeah. Because ain't no ATM's gonna be working.
It's real.
You know what I'm saying? Don't wait until something happens and stay prepared. That's just, it's like if you live in a hurricane area or if you live in a tornado area, those people have, are prepared or should be.
Yeah. Yeah, theoretically.
Because there really aren't too many alerts. It's not like
we put a lot of stock in self-responsibility around here, personal responsibility around here. I'll tell you that.
Anywho, get your shit together.
Yeah. Detroit Festival, you might have heard of it. Afrofuture Festival had a novel idea to charge white people an extra charge, a surcharge for their whiteness.
Is that legal?
Well, it's funny you ask. They were going to charge people of color $20 and non-POC, i.e. white people, $40. This, they said, was to compensate for the tendency of festivals to keep out high-priced festivals, to keep out people who live in the neighborhoods where they're held. So this was kind of like one of these progressive taxes in their mind, in racial progressive taxes. An artist, I don't remember her name, it doesn't matter. She came out publicly and said, I'm dropping out of the fest because I'm mixed, I'm biracial, whatever that means, again. And I got people in my family who would be affected by this, so I'm not fucking with it. And so
that's valid.
It's solely valid. All of this shit is valid. It's all made up. All this shit is made up, so it's all valid. So they backtracked on it. They have backtracked, and now they're going to be charging $20. But their rationale is because the publicity has drawn numerous death threats to their page and negativity. That's like freaking out the elders and the youth, which is also valid, probably very true. So they're doing this. The thing is, I don't think by backtracking on this that they placate the people who are the most offended by this. Like, I mean, I guess I'm a little.
Yeah, I would question why they still want to come.
So. Yeah, are those people? Yeah, are those people coming?
I don't know. I mean,
because I get I get the concept.
I get it too. Yo, look, if you go to Jamaica,
like they literally did. I'm sorry.
Look, if you go to Jamaica and you want to do some like touristy shit, like I'll tell you this. I went to Jamaica at one point, and I went to Dunn's River Falls. It's like a famous waterfall. You can kind of climb up. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Very touristy attraction. There's 2 lines, and it's like a line for Jamaicans, and it's a line for non-Jamaicans.
Yes.
And if you are non-Jamaican, you are paying more money.
Listen.
Now, and to that degree, it's really more like, why would we charge Native people more money to see for something that is part of their history, their culture, their land?
Yes.
Basically, they own
that was kind of their transitive sort of logic.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Sure. But but see, with that instance, it was more like national versus not. It wasn't necessarily based on color. So, like when I went, I'm American, but we went with a Jamaican, so we could just all slide in on the Jamaican side.
Right.
Whereas we could go, but we could be very black and very American. And basically be herded into the higher paying.
Because they're like, you're here for us to take your money.
We're here as tourists.
Yes.
To patronize the natural beauty of your country.
That's right. And we need to leave put some on it. Put some on it.
To this article, these people are coming to patronize the inherent beauty that these native Detroiters are bringing to the public.
I mean, exactly right. I mean, like, because actually in real
they would have had to show the ID. Like, do you live in Detroit?
Because, like, in actual,
you got a Detroit ID? How long you been here?
It's like in actual real life history, black people were the victims of housing discrimination. Like, this shit has actually happened to us. But on the same point, because I am always playing both sides in my mind. I see all sides. I do also understand that there's a part of me which is like, just because white people do fuck shit does not mean it should be the object of our freedom. Like, you are free to do fuck shit. Like I have a vast existential sort of space for you to be whatever you want to be in my morality system. But just because white people do fuck shit doesn't mean that we should aim to be able to do fuck shit to them, to be like, to justify, to balance out.
That makes me think of reparations.
The scale. It does.
If the federal government issued reparations to black people who show their paperwork, be like, my ancestors were slaves, basically not immigrants.
Right. I understand.
Would that nullify the impetus for black festivals,
you know why,
to do something like this?
I'm gonna be real with you. No, it would not. The only way, it depends on the form. It depends on the form of reparations, and I've been thinking about this a lot. The only way that reparations can really be a meaningful thing is that if some sort of trust were created in which some sort of semi-elected or appointed board of people who were responsible for like investing the money and basically investing in things on behalf of black people that benefited black people directly. Because if it was just a lotto payout... Yeah,
you can't just pay out money. Yeah, I agree. A trust is invest, and then you, after a certain amount of years, you could pull on it. You could pull on it
like to go to retirement, school, buy a house. Basically, all the shit that we got fucked with.
Basically, the inability for us to really have wealth, generational wealth, this would augment that.
Right. And it should be tied to our natural resources and whatever the fuck. And like,
it should very clearly be tied to American manufacturing and infrastructure.
Yep.
You know,
we should be treated like Alaskans. We should be treated basically like Alaskans, except for the cash payout. Oh. But I think, because that's the main thing, is that if you just give cash to people, it's like winning the lotto. And you'd be broke in a couple of weeks.
Pay tax on it.
You need education, and you need loans for businesses, and you need loans for property. That's all. That's it. That's really all. I mean,
if you're gonna live in America,
everything else we'll figure out. White people. That's, like literally everything else we're good. Just money for property and or businesses and education. I'm
tired. We gotta go.
Okay.
But I did want to talk about that. I read that Netflix acquires the rights to the Cyntoia Brown documentary. So she's supposed to be getting released. Remember the young girl who killed her sex trafficker?
Oh, yeah.
She'd been in prison, up for parole, and this and that.
Yep.
Kim Kardashian
got her out.
Lobbied to help get her out. Became the face of that. People have been working for years. So we should be seeing a Netflix documentary in the upcoming year.
Well, good for you, Kim. Glad it is late. Jesus, it's almost midnight.
ACLU tweeted that they want due process back for asylum seekers. Federal court ruled the Trump administration cannot arbitrarily detain people exercising their legal right to seek asylum without a hearing. And I'm really curious to see how that will play out, because that is a large majority of the people who have come to the border in the last couple of years seeking asylum, not just randomly trying to cross over.
Right.
So what's going to happen? How is that going to play out?
Oh, also a federal judge ruled that Trump cannot ban his critics on Twitter for First Amendment reasons, which is a significant precedent, because it sets the standard for public officials going forward using social media.
I don't want to talk about that white kid that judge was trying to let him off for rape because he was from a good family.
Fuck that dude. But yes, thank you for bringing that up. I forgot about that. I hate that shit.
That guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
And I think that's it. The only thing I guess I want to shout out is... go.
Oh, sorry. ASAP Rocky is in Sweden right now. He's locked down.
Oh, I did have that, but
he's locked down. It's this is what? Sweden? What's going on, yo? Free ASAP.
In solitary confinement, no less.
Free ASAP, man. This is ridiculous.
Defending himself in a fight. So I haven't been able to read the details on that.
It feels like some racial shit.
Doesn't sound good.
It feels like racist shit. What is Trump doing about that? What is Trump doing about our political prisoner ASAP Rocky?
I just want to say that I am so ready for, what is that new show called? What is it?
Oh.
Shit. Oh, here we go. A Black Lady Sketch Show.
What?
You ever heard about this? Okay, coming out August 2nd on HBO. It is Gabrielle Denise, Quinta Brown, Robin Thede, who had her little comedy night show, and somebody else. Sorry, I don't know her name. But they've got a show, and the clips look hilarious.
Is the name really A Black Ladies
Sketch Show? A Black Lady Sketch Show.
Wow.
I believe it's produced by Robin Thede and Issa Rae.
Wow.
They've got guest stars like Angela Bassett.
Wow.
And others. And it's
amazing.
Gonna be hilarious. It looks hilarious, and let's just support.
Nicki Minaj, do not perform in Saudi Arabia. It will only legitimize the regime, and it is hypocritical because the women there cannot shake their asses and twerk with the freedom that you will give cover to the ruling elite patriarchy there. So please don't do that. I just want to say that to you,
Also,
because I know you listen.
I don't know what I was going to say.
Oh, Representative Eric Swalwell is the first to drop out of the Democratic race.
Who?
By Eric Swalwell. Representative Eric Swalwell's gone.
Didn't even. Y'all seen that trailer for Mulan? It looks amazing.
That shit look good. They ain't singing in that shit.
They
are not singing those songs.
They
are not singing those songs.
I'm so here for the new. I mean, I know Disney is like taking over everything, but they kind of coming with it right now. So it's hard to hate.
They're telling the stories that we need to see, or that we want to see at least.
That we want to see.
Okay. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
You guys have been so fantastic. Until next
so
time.
Great. Thank you so much for tuning in. Woke with Kids on all the things. All the social
Spotify.
Medias.
Leave
Share.
us a 5-star review.
All
Leave us some stuff. We love you. All right. Peace.
Next time. Stay woke.
Bye.
Bye.